Here at the Lead Center, we help equip you with all the tools necessary to succeed in today's job market. Whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or if you're thinking about changing careers, you'll be meeting a lot. at the Lead Center, we help equip you.
Yo, Killer, what up, bro?
I was doing social media just now.
I hate when oh, the number popped up like a viewer's in here. Okay, sometimes you'll be in here and it says you're in here, and sometimes you're in here and it doesn't say you're even in here. But if you still in here, man, I want you to see something for 2 minutes. Okay, just sit with me for 2 minutes. I want to show you something that I did today. I'm using all the wrong colors already. I just picked up the brush and fucking dipped all in the wrong paint. See? You dipping in the wrong paint. All in the Kool-Aid. And don't know the flavor. You know? All in the Kool-Aid. Don't know the flavor. See? Now it says nobody's in here again. So, I don't know. If you're in here, I'll show you something. If not, I'll keep painting. Talking about the flavors of the Kool-Aid. All in the mustard. Can't catch up. You know? Yo, yo. I think I'm gonna need a bigger brush, man. I gotta do something different, man. Might have to use a bigger brush. That wasn't a good idea. Shit. What the fuck? It didn't even look like a good idea to start with, and I still tried to do it. Cause I be doing shit like that. Hold
Center, we help equip you with all the tools necessary to succeed in today's job market. Whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or if you're thinking about changing careers, you'll be meeting a lot of new people. So today,
So this is something I did for my job, yo. I had to like write the script for this. I basically did everything like so the lady who's in the photographs with me, I kind of like thought of, the positioning where we can stand and this and that, and had somebody else take the pictures, and then I wrote everything that I'm saying. Like this is a really simple very very simple script. I wrote the script and then I edited everything together. And this is like some really basic shit, yeah. Like it's super basic and generic, but this is like some stuff I do at work and get paid for doing this shit, yeah.
here at the Lead Center, we help equip you with all the tools necessary to succeed in today's job market. Whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or if you're thinking about changing careers, you'll be meeting a lot of new people. So today, we'll be discussing first impressions and how important a good first impression can be. Introducing yourself. You should always give your name and the reason for your visit. Timing and punctuality. Being on time is very important. If you can't show up to an interview on time, the employer will question if you can show up for work on time. Give yourself a 10 to 15 minute grace period because being too early may also be an issue. Personal appearance and hygiene. You should never judge a book by its cover, but a clean and neat outward appearance says a lot about a person. In addition, you should dress for the job that you're applying for. Attention and focus. When interviewing, make sure you have as few distractions as possible. Putting your phone on silent is a big help. Make eye contact, engage in the conversation, and pay attention to what's being discussed because you may have questions afterwards. Use complete sentences and words. Most of us are not trained in professional or public speaking, but it's not hard to say yes and no, instead of saying things like yeah, nah, or Shaking hands. A firm handshake when greeting or departing is an easy way to show mutual respect to someone you're meeting for the first time. Courtesy calls. If something comes up and you're not able to make your appointment time, always call to cancel or reschedule for another interview. The Lead Center at Outreach offers a free employment service to the community that provides advice, resume writing, and job search to our participants. We hope these tips have been helpful for you. We will see you next time with more information on how to succeed in the job market.
Right. It's pretty cool, right? I got, you know, I get paid hourly wages to do shit like that. Which is cool. It was a cooler project. It only took me like I don't know, a couple hours really, because I worked on it a little bit yesterday, and then worked on it a little bit today, and then after I emailed it to like the head supervisors and our director, and one of them. So I emailed it to three people. One of them emailed me back, said, "Yo, I love it. It's fantastic," which is good news. And so now we're just waiting for the other two to give some input, or some suggestions or something, or to just go ahead and say, "Yo, run with it." And then after that, we're going to oh, something else too though. I meant to do shit. I forgot the email. Alright. I didn't realize my organization had a YouTube channel. Like, just found that out today. Like, we got YouTube? Yeah. And so now, like, a couple of videos that I've done so far will upload those to YouTube. Dang, I might need a bigger brush than that. I'm just dirtying these little brushes up for no reason. Knowing I should have just went ahead and grabbed a bigger brush to start with. But, say, man, bigger brushes, more bristles, it takes more to wash them out. You know? I be trying to do as much work as I can with as little cleanup as possible. Right. Oh, I meant to turn some beats on or turn some YouTube on or turn something on. bam, 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 dance, 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 bam, 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 bam. When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? Where you gonna sleep? Where you gonna bite the boo? Who you gonna kill? Gonna shoot? Your family, what they trying to loot? When the troops come with boots and aiming at you, deep down in blue, then put them hard to bruise. News, oh yeah. War comes for you. War comes for you. What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes? Yeah, yeah, when the war comes for you, what you gonna do? Where you gonna sleep? Where you gonna bite food? Who you gonna kill, nigga? Who you gonna shoot? Protecting your family while they trying to loot. When the troops come with boots and aiming at you, and they try to beat you down to be black and blue. But I'm built like a brick, so I'm hard to bruise. It ain't hard to choose. But I'm built like a brick, so it's hard to bruise. When your life on the line, it ain't hard to choose. On the line, it ain't hard to choose. So what you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? Where you gonna sleep? Bite your food. Where you gonna sleep? Where you gonna bite your food? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? Where you gonna sleep? Where you gonna bite your food? Who you gonna kill, nigga? Who you gonna shoot? Protecting your family while they trying to loot. When the troops come with boots and aiming at you, down to you black and blue. But I'm built like a brick, so I'm hard to bruise. I'm hard to choose. Built like a brick, so I'm hard to choose. With your life on the line, and they hard to choose. Ain't hard to lose. They say there's war in the streets, that ain't hardly new. Hardly new. Hardly new. War on the streets, that ain't hardly new. I've been in more battle zones than they ever knew. New. In the streets, ain't nothing new. But I've been in more battle zones than they knew. I've been in more battle zones. When the war comes, when the war comes, when the war comes, when the war comes for you, what you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes? When the war comes, when the war comes for you, what you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do? When the war comes, when the war comes, when the war comes, when the war comes, when the war comes for you, what you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When the war comes for you, what you gonna do? Where you gonna sleep? Where you gonna bite your food? Who you gonna kill, nigga? Who you gonna shoot? Protecting your family while they trying to loot. When the troops come with boots and aiming at you, and they try to beat you down till you black and blue. But I'm built like a brick, so I'm hard to bruise. When your life on the line, it ain't hard to choose. It ain't hardly new. By the shit in the streets. Ooh. That's all I got is like 8 bars, yo. I need 8 more bars, yo. I gotta tighten up and come harder though, like on some other shit towards the end of the verse. What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When the war comes for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? What you gonna do when the war comes for you? When the troops come with boots and they aiming at you, and they try to beat you down till you black and blue, but I'm built like a brick, so I'm hard to bruise. And when your life's on the line, it ain't hard to choose. It ain't hardly new. It ain't hardly new. It hardly new. Hardly true. It ain't hardly new. The shit on the news is hardly true. It ain't hardly new. The shit on the news only partly true. It ain't hardly new when the shit on the news only partly true. The shit on the news only partly true. Shit on the news only partly true. The rest of it's shit on the news is hardly true. The rest is bias and these cowards always lying. The rest is bias and these cowards always lying. It ain't hardly new. Most of the shit on the news is only partly true. What they show us on the news is partly. What they show us on the news is only partly true. I need to write it down. Okay, it says. It ain't hardly new. The shit on the news is only partly true. The rest of it is bias. Because they always lying. And I swear to God, man, that's all they do. And they say trust the science. In the city. Because most of it is bias. The rest of them lying. And I swear to God, that's all they do. Then they say trust the science. And they say trust the science, but I ain't trying to buy it. Because Uncle Sam always trying to play a nigga for a fool. Ooh, it might be that. I'm going to have to write it down and see if I have to edit it some kind of way. It ain't nothing new. It ain't hardly new. When the boots come with troops, they aiming at you. Then I say, like a brick or hard to bruise. When your life on the line, it ain't hard to choose. When your life on the line, it ain't hard to choose. It ain't hardly new. And that shit on the news is only, it ain't hardly new. And the shit on the news only partly true. Because they bias and they lying. I swear to God. And I swear to God, that's all they do. So what I said after that? Damn. And I swear to God, that's all they do. And then they say trust the science.
This took place yesterday, I believe. The View, 5 hot flashes at a table, called for Tucker Carlson and Tulsi Gabbard to, I don't want to take it out of context. I don't want to take it out of context, but it sounds a lot like they're supporting, and by sounds a lot, I mean they are supporting the arrest and punishment of speech from Tucker Carlson, Tulsi Gabbard, and of course you, if it's something they don't like.
And I think DOJ, in the same way that it is setting up a task force to investigate oligarchs, should look into people who are Russian propagandists and shilling for Putin.
They used to arrest people for doing stuff like this. If they thought you were colluding with a Russian agent, if they thought you were putting out information or taking information and handing over to Russia, they used to actually investigate stuff like this. And I guess now, you know, there seems to be no bars.
No bars? You mean rebar? Like they have to reinforce your bed frame with you? There are no bars! Good to see you're supporting McCarthyism there, Whoopi.
Yeah, that's great. Are there any bars?
No. Nope.
They're all in your chest.
Just read the hoodie, child. There are no bars. I don't know why they're not arresting them. How about they arrest you for your wardrobe choice?
Oh, well, I gotta buy big clothes. It's for a man who's huge.
I get a tarp, and then I put a hoodie on it. This is a poncho, then I put a logo on.
Yeah.
Saves money and time. Well, it's like Steve Jobs with a black turtleneck. Only with me, it's big and fat hoodies, child. And then you have Anna Navarro sitting there. She's just there to give them credit, right? Again, they've never, ever had people like this program on, but Anna Navarro sits there and says, I am a Republican, I used to be Cuban, and I am a Republican, so you can trust what I say. Arrest all the Republicans.
Yeah, it is unreal.
My hoodie was supposed to say hope, but then it got all stretched out, ruined by me.
I put my head through a normal shirt. It's like stretching it out with a cantaloupe, child.
It's a huge child. I haven't washed my hair in 5 years. That's dandruff, child.
Look at the word that she used, by the way. She said shilling.
I'll have some.
No. Shilling for Putin, right? Yeah. You're out there shilling for Putin. We're not talking about this person right now, but we just mentioned him. Donald Trump gave an interview where he was describing that Putin is a very smart, evil person.
He said, don't underestimate it, which is exactly what Sonny Hostin said. So that's a perfect example. You eliminate Donald Trump from the pool, where, again, you can go watch his speech, and you can go watch, I don't remember if it was in an interview and then he reiterated it at CPAC, but he said, he's not stupid. I'm just saying, excuse me, what I'm saying is he's not stupid. He was saying don't underestimate him. Then they told you that Donald Trump supported.
Shilling. He was out there shilling.
He was out there shilling.
That's what they said.
That's the new term that they use. You Putin? I guess at this point. But you were calling everybody racist, right? Back then it was just call them racist. We just showed you the emails. Just call them racist. And now today it's just call, if they don't want to go to war, if they don't want to spend, it'll probably rack up to tens of billions of dollars over the long term here with this conflict. If they don't want to spend tens of billions of dollars, just call them Putin apologists. So they eliminate Donald Trump from that pool. They say he apologized. He was a Putin apologist. He was supporting Putin. Then Sonny Hostin says the exact same thing on The View, and no one has a problem with it. Why? Because she has a seat at the table where she can provide the context, which they don't allow to political dissidents. And by the way, they mentioned specifically Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson. Russian propagandists, if they're Russian plants, as though they're actually working for Russia. Look, they may not follow the exact party line of Whoopi and Republican Navarro, but let me show you where they've clarified their stance on Russia. I don't know if they're huge fans of Putin, but you be the judge.
Here are the undeniable facts. There are 25 to 30 U.S.-funded biolabs in Ukraine. According to the U.S. government, these biolabs are conducting research on dangerous pathogens. Ukraine is in an active war zone with widespread bombing, artillery, and shelling, and these facilities, even in the best of circumstances, could easily be compromised and release these deadly pathogens.
Biden official in charge of Ukraine confirmed
What's the
story.
bad news?
Victoria Nuland, the Undersecretary of State, casually mentioned in a Senate hearing on Tuesday that actually, yes, the Biden administration does fund a series of biolabs in Ukraine, and whatever is in these labs is so dangerous that she is deeply concerned these materials will fall into the hands of the Russian military.
Doesn't seem like they're thrilled about either the biolabs, which of course people would say is a conspiracy, or getting into the hands of the Russian military, which again would imply they're not big fans of the Russian military. You can also find more clips than you can watch in a lifetime of Tucker Carlson saying that he's not a fan of Putin. Just because he doesn't say that everything Putin does is wrong doesn't mean that he's a supporter of him.
Right. Well, and she's like, when you're shelling buildings, biolabs tend to have problems because they tend to get out of biolabs without shelling.
Right.
And also when power goes out,
There's a bat present.
tend to have issues as well.
Yes.
Do we understand how this works?
Well, thank God the nuclear plant being bombed and on fire that the Ukraine released. It turns out that wasn't a thing.
Not a thing. Oh, and I'm just checking my notes here. I just want to say there's not a wet market near any of these Ukrainian biolabs.
No, there aren't.
We're
Oh,
good, guys.
good.
Hey,
Okay.
it's fine. Everything's fine.
No.
But there is an Aldi's.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah.
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 How do you get prices that low?
Well, I don't know. I assume they just get the produce right when it's about to spoil. Their produce doesn't hold up very well. Now, here's the thing. That what they're doing right now, where they're saying you need to arrest, or we used to arrest, that's McCarthyism. And by the way, McCarthy wasn't wrong about everything. Whoopi and I we wouldn't be able to have a conversation about it. But the point is, she's just blank slate supporting McCarthyism. It's very similar when you look at what the White House is doing. And it's a scaled back version, but certainly of what the members of the Hot Flash 5 want us to do. When you look at Russia, who are arresting protesters for holding blank signs.
Well, that's lazy.
Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Again, I'm not a fan of the way Russia handles critics of the media. That's the old Russian joke. The problem is so obvious, there's no need to write it down.
I love that. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Like, it's so bad and people know that it is so bad. You hold up a blank sign and just insert here.
Some mom
Whatever you want, you know what's going on.
This is blank sign, yes, but we understand with After Effects you could key in something, you could put penis on there, we can take chance.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy. Or the places we didn't go.
Ever since Russia invaded Ukraine, America and Europe have been trying to find the balance between helping Ukraine, so avoiding going to war with Russia themselves. Nobody wants World War III. I mean, other than defense contractors and those people who sell merch in the trenches. But one of the weapons the West has been using against Russia, yes, which comes from the Latin sanctio, meaning to mess with someone else's shit. It's military, diplomatic, or financial. The ultimate goal of these sanctions is to turn up the pressure on Russia so that it ends Ukraine's conservatorship, sets it free. And one of the most significant sanctions America and Europe have imposed is going after oligarchs.
Tonight, the U.S. is moving to tighten the squeeze on Vladimir Putin and the oligarchs, the richest Russians who surround him.
The administration, along with Britain and Europe, introducing a raft of sanctions, targeting oligarchs and their families, even President Putin.
These tough new measures are designed to hurt those closest to Putin, figures who until now have seemed untouchable, now clear targets.
Britain's threat to the Russian oligarchs, 7 of them sanctioned, including Roman Abramovich, the owner of the Chelsea Football Club. That club can no longer sell tickets, it can't sign new contracts, and it cannot be sold.
Italy seized an oligarch's $70 million yacht.
French officials seized the Amore Vera, about 280 feet long, with multiple VIP suites and a pool that turns into a helipad.
Damn! Boat that has a pool that turns into a helipad? Woo! The person has to have a mode of transportation that carries another mode of transportation. And it sits on a body of water while it carries a body of water. That's money. But a pool that turns into a helipad. Wow. Better than that would be a pool that stays a pool. Just me, but one of my favorite things about relaxing in a pool is not worrying if a helicopter is going to land on me. It's part of the pleasure I get. But yes, Europe and America are handling Putin the way you handle any breakup, by blocking him and all his friends. And you might be wondering, well, the oligarchs didn't start the war. They're not ordering troops to bomb hospitals, so why are they being targeted by the sanctions? Well, let's find out why in another installment of If You Don't Know, Now You Know. things first. Who are the oligarchs? And I know oligarch sounds like a creature chasing Frodo in Middle-earth, but it's actually just a fancy term for a group of super rich billionaires in Russia. But it's how these billionaires got that way that makes them interesting.
After almost 70 years of Russian communism, where the state controlled everything, the Russian people saw huge political and economic change practically overnight. For a select few businessmen known as oligarchs, they managed to rise to the top.
Soviet Union, all land and all property was owned by the state. In the 1990s, it was privatized, and the most valuable companies were landed in the hands of these business people, mostly oil and gas and mineral companies under the Putin era. He took some of the assets from the oligarchs who had made their money in the 1990s and gave them to his friends.
A lot of money that was his, he has basically handed over to oligarchs for safekeeping.
They include Yuri Kovalchuk. The billionaire chairman of Bank Russia is also the bank's largest shareholder and has been called one of Putin's cashiers, Arkady Rodenberg. He grew up alongside Putin in St. Petersburg and for a time was Putin's judo sparring partner.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, a secretive oligarch dubbed Putin's chef because his company oversees catering for the Kremlin and other state agencies.
Putin's cashier, Putin's chef, Putin's dog walker. Call him that because he walks Putin's dogs. But yeah, essentially, when the Soviet Union fell and communism ended in Russia, a bunch of lucky dudes were just handed the keys to entire industries that used to be owned by the government. And they became super rich. Yeah, those are the oligarchs. And when Putin came to power a decade later, a new generation of his buddies became oligarchs too. So clearly it pays to be Putin's friend. I mean, sure, you're the one who has to take those shirtless horse pics, but I mean, in the end, you get an oil company. Yeah, make sure you get entire horse. And take a lot so I have options. Why sanction Putin's friends over the war in Ukraine? Because they're Putin's friends. And that means that if you maybe make their lives shittier, maybe they'll try talk some sense into him. And let's be honest, man, that's life. Rich people complaining is how shit always gets done. That's how colonization happened. Rich people were like, my food has no flavor. And 2 days later, the British took over India. Of course, to sanction these oligarchs, America and Europe need to access their wealth. That's a question, right? I mean, how can you get to all of this Russian money? Well, because it turns out none of the money is actually in Russia.
Oligarchs around the Putin regime use Western countries, Western banks, and Western jurisdictions as havens for the wealth that they're stealing from the people of Russia.
Billions and billions of dollars stolen and then laundered through Western banks like Deutsche Bank, laundered through real estate in Europe and the United States.
Russian oligarchs have long used New York City as a place to park their cash in the form of large apartment buildings, often that sit empty.
Russian oligarchs have about as much money in financial wealth stashed in offshore accounts as the entire Russian population has in Russia.
That is, in many ways, Russia's Achilles heel in all of this. Suddenly now, governments suddenly start seizing hotels, football teams, yachts, homes. It will certainly get the attention of the most powerful people in Russia by hitting them where it hurts.
That's right. Oligarchs own shit everywhere. In New York, oligarch money. Sports teams in Britain, oligarch money. That couch you're sitting on right now. I mean, you bought that, but check between the cushions. There's some rubles in there. I get why. I get why these guys want to buy football teams in London or luxury apartments in New York or park their yachts in Saint-Tropez because, I mean, let's be honest, spending money in Russia, that isn't as much fun. Not experiences, just not the same if you have to wear a bathing suit over your fur coat. For a long time, it didn't matter that these Borscht Ballers kept all their wealth in the West, but that changed real quick when these sanctions started getting passed. They're all well aware that their assets are in bigger danger than Mike Pence at a Trump rally.
Russian oligarchs are scrambling to secure their assets as the U.S. works to enforce sanctions against the ultra-rich surrounding President Vladimir Putin.
Here at the Plaza Hotel, a $50 million Russian-owned apartment is reportedly up for sale before it can be seized.
Oligarchs scrambling commercial-sized aircraft to safe havens they hope will be beyond the reach of U.S. and international law enforcement.
They are also moving their yachts. Tracking data showing many of their largest vessels sailing toward the Maldives, where they will be harder to seize.
Now, as pressure grows on the ultra-wealthy, some oligarchs are starting to call publicly for an end to the war.
We've counted up to 8 billionaires who have spoken publicly, which is really unprecedented. This has never happened before.
Yeah, because of these sanctions, afraid of losing stuff, a bunch of these oligarchs are already speaking out against Putin's war. Please, we must think of this war's impact on innocent children. That is the name of my yacht, Innocent Children. She does not deserve this. Please, look at her. Oh, how stupid these oligarchs are, right? They're moving their planes, they're sailing out to sea, they're swallowing condoms full of gold. And like, I know all of this stuff is complicated. It seems a little counterproductive that these guys have enough warning to take all of these measures, don't you think? Yeah, it's like giving your teenage son a heads up that a week from now, you're gonna look through his internet history. By the time you get there, all you're going to find is a Google search for, why isn't there a second Mother's Day? Aww. But the real question is, will putting pressure on these oligarchs be enough to end this war? Well, to help answer that, we go to our very own Roy Wood Jr., who is reporting live from international waters. Roy, what is your reporting telling you?
You know, Trevor, I've been hearing all this noise about how evil and corrupt these oligarchs are, but I've been doing some personal investigating, and it turns out these oligarchs are very decent, kind people. They're just good people. Oh, more caviar. Thank you.
Right. Are you on a super yacht right now?
That's right. I needed to investigate firsthand. That's why I searched up and down this yacht for dirt on these oligarchs, Trevor. I looked in the massage parlors. I looked in the cigar lounge. I looked in the casino. Then back to the massage parlors. Then I was on the deck checking out the sunrise yoga. Then back to the massage parlors again. I forget what we was talking about, man. Damn, this is a nice-ass yacht, man. I tell you this, man.
Roy! Roy!
Huh? What's up? Hang on a second, man. Oh, breakfast champagne. Thank you. Something on the ball.
Okay, Roy, do you see what's happening? Your journalistic ethics have clearly been compromised, Roy. Whoever's yacht this is has bribed you.
Bribed? What did you say to me? Well, I'd have slapped you with my new Gucci shoes. I don't want to damage your soul. They made of seal skin.
Roy, this is what oligarchs do. Do you not understand? They use their money to corrupt everyone around them so that they can get away with their evil deeds.
Oh, so now it's evil to...
A house or a laptop? Which one do you think is worth more? Well, definitely not the house, because it not only costs millions to buy, but you also have to pay thousands to...
Boozy, what up, bro?
Hey everyone, Fuzzy here. As you guys know, I've beaten Sifu many times at age 20 with no deaths. To do that, I always go with the set build path that once I reach the final boss ends up looking like what you're seeing here. This is how my build looks after starting a fresh run from a brand new game that has no permanent unlocks to begin with. The shrine related upgrades that you see on the left are min-maxed based on upgrading the right perk at the right time along the way. The list on the right shows you how to get what you see on the left as you play through each level. Use it to know what to upgrade at each shrine. You'll notice Focus Bar level 1 is upgraded at the start of the squats and Focus Bar level 2 is upgraded at the start of the club. If you think you shouldn't bother upgrading Focus because the final boss is immune to it, then think again. To beat the final boss you need maximum structure reserve, maximum structure regain, and maximum parry impact. As you can see, you also get those with this build path. The final boss is covered and investing in Focus will not hurt you in any way with the final boss. Nor will it be a waste, because Focus will help you more than any other perk with all the previous bosses and especially with mini-bosses. In fact, once you learn the mechanics of the bosses, it's the mini-bosses that are more likely to spoil your no-death run, but not if you have 2 bars of Focus. 2 bars of Focus gives you access to 2 eye pokes, and mini-bosses are especially vulnerable to an eye poke followed by a charged blade strike. It one-shots them basically. You can get an entire focus back from one charged blade strike as well, so that's essentially 3 focus bars for the price of 2. Watch this to see what I mean. Here's another clip showing how easy eye pokes and charged attacks make what otherwise are difficult mini-boss duos easy. I'll talk about skills in a moment, but for now there's a good reason why you should make sure you have focus bar level 2 unlocked after using the first shrine in the club. Yes, it's helpful to get 2 eye pokes early in the game, but the other reason is the arguably hardest mini-boss fight in the game takes place in a secret room in the club called the Aquarium. There are no one-shotting blades to help you beat the 2 mini-bosses you have to fight there, and they're nightmarishly difficult. But if you come to the club prepared with 2 focus levels unlocked after you beat the first mini-boss on the dance floor, you'll find these 2 a lot easier to deal with. The only consideration you need to bear in mind to make this build path work for you is you must get a high score in your playthrough of the squats in order to unlock Parry Impact levels 1 and 2 before you finish playing the squats. For that, don't kill any enemies without having a ×5 multiplier going on every enemy you kill. That means taunting the first enemy right from the start to ×5, and it means taunting enemies every time you get hit and your multiplier goes down to make sure it goes back up to ×5 again. Fortunately, you only have to worry about maxing your score in the first level, in the squats, and fortunately, that's the easiest level. After that, play normally without worrying, and your score and XP will always be enough to get the other perks as you go. As far as skills go, if you're starting the game fresh from scratch, and you might be because you can't override your lower stage shrine upgrades without doing that, at least until they patch that problem, I recommend unlocking Environmental Mastery, Charged Back Fist, and Raining Strikes as your first 3 skills. Environmental Mastery can be used right from the moment you unlock it against the first mini-boss. In fact, there are very few places it isn't useful apart from boss fights. You can even use it to fully cheese late game mini-boss fights. One-shot bosses, but Charged Back Fist is the skill that lets you use blade weapons to one-shot any enemy, including the toughest mini-bosses. Raining Strikes is a skill that works so well against the final boss that it's worth getting just for that. It's also not too shabby against other enemies either. As you can see, I personally concentrate on permanently unlocking those 3 first before I move on to any other skills. You'll earn enough XP to permanently unlock all 3 in a single deathless run. In the last level, you'll have a little bit of XP that you can use to unlock whatever you want for your 4th skill, but that won't matter. Just don't spread your XP around or you'll lose all your non-permanently unlocked skills if you complete the game or replay a previous level. I've mentioned focus already. Parry Impact, it's a priority as it means the more you block with good timing, the greater your damage against enemy structure will be. That's an essential perk that you absolutely must upgrade to level 3. Weapon Proficiency also helps you do more damage against enemy structure with weapons. It's also essential. Structure Reserve and Structure Regain are extremely important too, as they allow you to block more damage and therefore survive longer. You can also see Weapon Durability there. That's the last upgrade on the path and not really essential at all, but it's a nice to have once you've maxed out all the other perks listed. So yeah, those are the best shrine upgrades and skills to take from a fresh start of the game if you want the best chance at going 20 and 0. And that's based on me testing a ton of different upgrade paths and skill combinations over many, many runs. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, post away in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out. Bye for now.
Water before bed burns £46 in 2 weeks. If you are struggling to lose weight and you're over 25, then you need to hear this. People are burning 2.5 pounds of fat each night as they sleep by adding this one ingredient to their glass of water before bed. Harvard scientists confirmed for the first time ever that weight gain problems have nothing to do with your metabolism speed, diet, or exercise, but with brown adipose tissue levels in the body. They found that this brown adipose tissue is what burns the body fat that accumulates around your waist and thighs, and that this strange tissue is also what controls your metabolism while you sleep. In November 2021,
Here, you can see the headline. Whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or if you're thinking about changing careers, you'll be meeting a lot of new people. So today, we'll be discussing first impressions and how important a good first impression can be. Introducing yourself. You should always give your name and the reason for your visit.
That's cute.
Timing and punctuality. Being on time is very important. If you can't show up to an interview on time, the employer will question if you can show up for work on time. Give yourself a 10 to 15 minute grace period because being too early may also be an issue. Personal appearance and hygiene. You should never judge a book by its cover, but a clean and neat outward appearance says a lot about a person. In addition,
I don't know why the whole video wouldn't go on my reel.
And focus. When interviewing, make sure you have as few distractions as possible. Putting your phone aside from the big phone. Make eye contact. Engage in the
I just noticed y'all in the back.
Pay attention to what is being discussed because it brings up questions.
Yeah, no, we've had our screensavers up there for a while.
Use complete sentences and words. Most of us are not trained in professional or public speaking, but it's not hard to say yes and no, instead of saying things like yeah, nah, or Shaking hands. A firm handshake when greeting or departing is an easy way to show mutual respect to someone you're meeting for the first time.
I'm glad you have nice hands, Martin.
If something comes up and you're not able to make your appointment time, always call to cancel or reschedule. The Lead Center at Outreach offers a free employment service to the community that provides advice, resume writing, and job search to our participants. We hope these tips have been helpful for you. We will see you next time with more information on how to succeed in the job market.
Nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Let's put together a quick video for like a couple hours.
Very professional. Yeah, I'm just like looking at this picture like, it's a video too. But she still looks cool even when she's slouching.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all were like,
Yeah, and they said Outreach has a YouTube channel, but nobody doesn't know what it is.
Of course they don't, 'cause all the people.
So now we gotta find it so we can start posting. And that was something in the meeting this morning too that Lori brought up. She was like, we need. Outreach has been there for 30 years and people still don't know we're there, or they don't know what services we provide. So she's like, we really need to make a bigger presence for ourselves. She said social media is very popular. Like, I've been trying to do more with our Facebook page, and I said if we make more videos, I think those little short videos will catch people because everybody's so like visualistic nowadays. So now we have to start doing more little infomercials like that. Oh, and I showed it to Lori, the director, and
You need to stay up here with you till you can.
I was about to come down. How long have I been here? Hour and a half. And I'll be down in a minute. But she was like, "Is that your iPad?" I was like, "Yes." And she had this look in her eye. She was silent for like a split second. I was like, "Do you think we can get an iPad for here?" She was like, "Get one. You know all the specs or everything that'll work best for you, and we'll see what we do about that." Now I'm gonna have me a fucking work iPad.
Now the work iPad gonna be nicer than this iPad. That you
Exactly.
gonna
She
need a
talking
new
about,
one.
she talking about the specs I want. Okay, I'm getting the new one with the magnetic pencil that sticks to the side and charges
This is
like
my
that.
work stuff. This will be coming home with me.
Mhm.
When you about to come down?
In a minute, I'm gonna do this last spot and then clean my brushes up.
Okay, well she can stay up here with you too.
All right.
If she's been doing too much, then I don't know what else. I let her out.
See? Now you gotta sit down. Now you gotta sit down. Now you stuck up here with me. You hate it, don't it? I know. I know you hate it. Me too. I don't like your punk ass in my studio anyways. You too, babe. Oh, you already know, but I'm about to get the newest one. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna try to find a refurb brand new one or the newest to make it look like I'm trying to say, but man, shit, cause I think I have a this one right here is a 2017 iPad Pro 10.5 inch. Man, the next shit I'm gonna get at least, I think they came out with one in 2020, and then they was putting a new one out this year. So I don't know, man. I might just ask for the 2021 but get the fucking 12-inch Joan. So 2 inches. It should be 2 inches bigger, yo. I'm definitely gonna get like the bigger screen and a nice ass case for that shit with the stand on it. Yeah, bro. They're gonna have to come out the pocket for this, bro. They shouldn't even say that, cause I don't know, cause I've done a couple of projects using my iPad at work. Procreate, which is an Apple. I mean, Procreate is only on Apple, I think, and then they have iMovie, which is how I put together that little info thing just now, and it's like, it's just so easy. I hate when it does that. Oh, motherfucker. Alright, shit, bro, this shit be feeling hard as shit to come up. Alright, but yeah, so I've used my personal iPad on work projects, a couple of different projects, and it's just like it's easier for me anyway. It's easier for me to use the programs that I'm used to, and the Apple iMovie is pretty simple and straightforward. Not a whole lot of flair to it, but the shit fucking works. And I know how to use the iMovie for the most part. I mean, I probably could make like more in-depth stuff if I really, really wanted to, but there's no need for all of that. But so I already had the thought in my mind to start with, like, maybe I should ask my job for an iPad to use at work. And so today was the perfect opportunity for me to be like, yo, you know what? I needs that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make my life easier here. And then once I get that work iPad, that shit coming home with me, yo. That shit coming home with me, and I'm leaving my iPad at work. Alright. I think that's a pretty good stopping point for today. calm down. Calm your happy ass down. Before I calm you down. Yeah, I guess that's it for today. I'm about to go play some seafood. Yeah, the little video, I should let you see the video. I know you heard it. Like I said, the little video I did is pretty cool though. The motherfuckers praising the shit out that thing. And you know, I don't even think that shit was that hard to do. Hold on. Equipped you with all the tools necessary to succeed in today's job market, whether you're unemployed and looking for work. Here at the Lead Center, we help equip you with all the tools necessary to succeed in today's job market. Whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or if you're thinking about changing careers, you'll be meeting a lot of new people. So today, we'll be discussing first impressions and how important a good first impression can be. Introducing yourself. You should always give your name and the reason for your visit. Timing and punctuality. Being on time is very important. If you can't show up to an interview on time, the employer will question if you can show up for work on time. Give yourself a 10 to 15 minute grace period because being too early may also be an issue. Personal appearance and hygiene. You should never judge a book by its cover, but a clean and neat outfit. Here at the Lead Center, we help equip you with all the tools. I tried to wipe something off the goddamn screen. Here at the Lead, outward appearance says a lot about a person. In addition, you should dress for the job that you're applying for. Attention and focus. When interviewing, make sure you have as few distractions as possible.
Putting your phone on silent is a big help. Make eye contact, engage in the conversation, and pay attention to what's being discussed because you may have questions afterwards. Use complete sentences and words. Most of us are not trained in professional or public speaking, but it's not hard to say yes and no, instead of saying things like yeah, nah, or uh-huh. Shaking hands. A firm handshake when greeting or departing is an easy way to show mutual respect to someone you're meeting for the first time. Courtesy calls. If something comes up and you're not able to make your appointment time, always call to cancel or reschedule for another interview. The Lead Center at Outreach offers a free employment service to the community that provides advice, resume writing, and job search to our participants. We hope these tips have been helpful for you. We'll see you next time with more information on how to succeed in the job market.
Anyway, I do all kind of shit, man. Alright. Me and the dog are out of here. We'll get with y'all next time. Peace.